your point.
The rest that is against the West, as Huntington said. So we are the rest. Russia now is the vanguard of the rest that contests, that challenge this universalism, this messianism of the West. We insist on other understanding of democracy, and I think that is precisely the most important problem in debates of the future.
Now, I understand what you're saying, and I take your point, but at the beginning of your answer, and I'll ask Francis Fukuyama to comment on what you just said in a second, but you used a word that is it is a serious trigger word in Western democracies. You used the word racist in describing how people in the West sometimes view their version of democracy compared to others. Could you just amplify on what you meant by using that word in that context?
So, that very important scholar of England, John Hobson, the specialist in international relations, explained in his brilliant book concerning Eurocentric vision of world politics what is precisely the basis of subliminal racism of the Western civilization. In the 19th century, that was based on the equation between white race and civilization, yellow race and barbarism, and black race as savages. But after the criminal experience of the Hitler in Germany, this equation with the racist aspect biologically was put aside, but the same structure of understanding the hierarchy of the cultures of the civilization rests in this place. And the West continue to understand the situation in the world politics, on the same basis. There is civilization, that is the West. There is the barbary, that is, for example, Russia, China, or other BRICS country. And there is also savages, the third world, where there is no emerging industrial countries, but the kind of the primitive way of living. All that is based on the presumption of kind of hierarchy between the society that was explicitly racist in the past, and now it is implicitly or subliminally racist. But I think that is the problem. You need to, being real democrats, you need to put aside this universalism and try to understand why, for example, some tribes don't want to go in the same sense of development as Marcel Mauss has shown, that there is a kind of rejection, refuse to the progress, to the accumulation of the goods by some archaic tribes. And that is decision that we need to take seriously if we are not racist. So I think that the problem of the biological racism is resolved in the West, but cultural racism still exists, and it is precisely in the core of the Western thought and the Western geopolitics, Western strategy, Western set of values. And I think that we need to stop that. It is not democratic enough.
Francis Fukuyama, I suspect there are many in the West who would plead guilty to feeling that we have the best system of government and organizing society in the history of the world. But I'm not sure I've ever heard the word racist used in the past to describe it.